You can give examples of the people
Nancy
who have
Pelosi's
been,
husband or Ellen DeGeneres or
but that's not my view, and I understand the way the game is played. To then
it's not a game. I'm just curious who it is.
David. It's fine. I understand it. I'm having fun with it.
No, but it's not a game. There must be some people.
David, and I don't say this in an ill-spirited way at all. Just getting to the truth of it, you are like dripping with the viscosity of sanctimony as you ask this question.
No, that's an ad hominem.
In today's video, David Pakman interviews Vivek Ramaswamy. The two discussed a multitude of topics, but in this clip, the two are discussing the role of the president and how power and responsibilities are delegated to various people and agencies. To no one's surprise, David Pakman feigns aloofness, and Vivek Ramaswamy shuts down what's obviously an attempted gotcha moment. Let's watch Vivek Ramaswamy shut down our favorite grifting wokester, David Pakman.
Is going to be churned out. It's not one person, it's a system. And I think it goes back to the way the government's run. I think the people who we elect to run the government are not the ones running the government. I don't think Joe Biden is really making most of the policy decisions that come out of the executive branch of the government. I really don't.
But give an example of someone who's making the decisions. I know you can't, it's not one person, but there must be a group.
It's not one person. Well, I'm resisting the premise, David. It is a machine. That is the Leviathan. I mean,
who runs the machine?
This is the apparatus. It's the wrong frame. That's the whole point, David.
Who built the machine?
Well, I think it's been built over the years from decades of purposeful loss of accountability. I think it was built by people who were elected into office that did not want to actually bear the accountability for their actions, and so quietly devolved power, first from Congress to three-letter agencies, from three-letter agencies to a managerial class that pervades the public and private sector alike. You don't have to take it from what you will see as a crazy Republican candidate, far right or whatever you want to label me on your show. Michael Lind has written about this in a lucid manner. I think that there's a horizontal managerial class that pervades the public, private, and intermediate sectors in the United States that's wielding the decisions.
I just think it would put a lot of texture to it if you were able to say, Hillary's in the class.
If you like watching videos like these, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
Susan Rice. You can give examples of the people
Nancy
who
Pelosi's husband or Ellen DeGeneres or
that's not my view, and I understand the way the game is played. To then
it's not a game. I'm just curious who it is.
David. It's fine. I understand it. I'm having fun with it.
No, but it's not a game. There must be some people.
David, and I don't say this in an ill-spirited way at all. Just getting to the truth of it, you are like dripping with the viscosity of sanctimony as you ask this question.
No, that's an ad hominem, Vivek. That's unfair. I think you don't want to answer the question. To attack me. It's an obvious question. If there's a machine and a managerial class, someone must be involved. There must be someone.
That's your assertion, David, and I think that my whole premise is that. I think this is true in both parties, but it's particularly true in the modern Democratic Party. I don't think Joe Biden has a choice in the matter of whether he's the nominee or not.
Was there ever any question that Joe Biden wasn't making all the decisions, if any, in his administration? And is there any question that Joe Biden definitely did not have a choice as to whether he was the Democrat nominee for president? I don't know if David Pakman intends to play a role as a villain. And for example, in this clip, I don't know if he intends to play ignorant to what Vivek is talking about. He absolutely understands the premise fully. And of course, because I don't like him, I'd love to say, oh, he just is ignorant.
What's up, guys? If you don't know, my name is Justin and I own this YouTube channel. I'm also a YouTube strategist and I own a lot of the channels in the political space. I've worked with a lot of the top channels in the political space. And so many people ask me, how do I grow these YouTube channels so quickly? How am I so good at getting results for my clients and for myself? I've actually worked with a lot of the top channels like Russell Brand, Benny Johnson, Lauren Chin, so many of the top YouTube channels in the political space. And I always get asked these questions. How can I also grow my political YouTube channel? Or just a YouTube channel in general, and I'm actually doing a free live class coming up on Tuesday, December 2nd, showing you exactly how to grow your YouTube channel and how to make enough money to leave your 9-to-5 job, because anybody can do it. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it Tuesday, December 2nd. So if you want the same sort of results as these YouTube channels, such as Justin is Lost, Justin Reloaded, Justin Reborn, The Progressive Way, Bring the Asteroid, Benny Johnson, Russell Brand, Chris on Culture, The Apostle, all these people, they're all either me or they've worked with me in the past. So if you want the same results as them, I'm going to show you how to do it for absolutely free on this live workshop on Tuesday, December 2nd. Make sure you sign up with the top link in the description or the link in the pinned comment. Sign up for that class. There's only 100 spots. So if you save a spot, make sure that you show up so you don't waste the spot. I'll see you guys Tuesday, December 2nd. Click the link in the pinned comment to sign up, and I'll see you there.
But you can clearly see he's playing dumb, right? Like, what do you mean? And he's using these tactics to get a headline for his thumbnail on his channel. He wants Vivek Ramaswamy to say Hillary Clinton, Susan Rice, Barack Obama, George Soros, because then what does he get to do? He gets to put up a video. I interviewed Vivek Ramaswamy. Breaking. He says that Hillary Clinton is really running the whole government behind Joe Biden's back. Does everyone watching this right now agree with me that Vivek is so ridiculously smooth? He rolls with, no matter if it's a friendly or hostile interview, he adapts, and he comes across as cool as a cucumber every time. I mean, he's right. David Pakman has the nerve to pretend that he's upset that Vivek Ramaswamy says, your question is dripping and sanctimonious. And he says, that's an ad hominem. And I think that's another thing that I don't like, that I don't think I could put my finger on before, that David Pakman does. He asks you a question, you give him an answer, and then he keeps needling you and needling you to try to back you into a corner to get you to say something that will give him a headline and that he can point to later. Well, he said this. I mean, he was on my show. So with these tactics, he can't be accused of throwing ad hominems around at his debate opponent. But the undertone of him saying the same question over and over, worded differently or framed differently, the undertone is suggesting that his debate opponent is lying, which is an awful thing to suggest. But he doesn't come out and say, you're lying, tell me the truth, because then he could be accused of calling names or an ad hominem. So he tries to frustrate the heck out of whoever he's talking to, obviously only if he's talking to someone from the right, to get them to the point where they call him a name or throw out an ad hominem. Then he gets to pearl clutch and say, why would you say that? I haven't said anything like that. He is unbearable, man. Let's get back to the video.
Repeating that, and you can do ad hominems, but you're not really answering.
David, and for you to sort of now claim victim and claim ad hominem.
No, I'm not a victim. I'm fine. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy.
Of course you are. And so I'm treating you like one. And so I think the viscosity of the questioning is basically resisting the premise of the core point that I'm sharing with you, which is that it is not one puppet master that's an individual.
I agree.
It is a managerial machine that in the Democratic Party, in the Democratic establishment, and I think it exists in the Republican establishment too, is designed to crush the will of everyday citizens and to decide that this is who will be served. Up to you to digest. You're force-fed who you get. I think this is why the Biden documents case. Why don't you hear much about that right now? Why don't you, the open-ended investigation of Hunter Biden? I think these are levers that if Joe Biden tries to act like an agent and say when their time of deciding that he's not the nominee, well, I think that's when you're going to see those investigations then pick up steam to say that, well, you're not getting out of the way. We're going to get you out of the way. I think that is the Leviathan. It is not an individual. It's not individual action. It is collective
But I'm not
action.
claiming it's an individual. I mean, listen, I think ultimately the audience can evaluate. When I say give me anyone, and you say my questions when you say my questions are viscous,
one of hundreds of people, the Susan Rices of the world, sure, fit that machine, but it's not one puppet master.
David Pakman. I'm not claiming it's one person. Also, David Pakman. Give me one. If you're not claiming it's one person, then why are you asking him to name one? David, you and your entire audience, when he talks about a larger machine at work that is making the decisions in both parties, but more so in the Democrat Party, both you and your audience clearly understand what he's talking about, and you know it exists. This isn't even for anyone who's being honest on the planet that hears the discussion. The fact that there's a machine pulling the levers behind the figureheads of various political parties It's not even a debatable topic. We all understand that. And on a side note, I am very proud of myself right now because Vivek Ramaswamy is about 8.3 trillion times smarter than I am. But one thing I love that he said is, David, now you're claiming victimhood. And he goes, no, I'm not. I'm a big boy. The reason I'm very proud in this moment is because Vivek called out exactly what I thought I was picking up on in the first section of this video when I was talking. He threw a bunch of garbage out there without calling names, but the undertone was insulting. Then when Vivek responded with, even he said respectfully, your question is dripping in sanctimonious, David said, now that's an ad hominem. So he got his intended result, even from one of the most even-keeled guys on the planet, right? We got a little bit left of the video, so let's get back to it.
People like Susan Rice.
Yes,
people like
exactly.
Susan Rice.
People of that
All
class,
right.
absolutely.
That's an answer. That could have been the first thing. You know, I mean, I don't know why my questions are viscous.
But I've played this game enough to know to say that, oh, well, Vivek thinks Susan Rice is the puppet master. But
no, I'm not saying
one
that.
Person.
I have no interest in saying that you said that. I just wanted to feel, I just was like, what sorts of people are you thinking about?
There you go, an answer. There you go.
Whatever games others might play, I'm certainly not playing with you. I'm just curious who you're referring to, and people can judge it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think people have an innate understanding that the people who are the politicians pretending to make those decisions, they're not really the ones making those decisions today. And I think the more clearly we see that, the more clearly we understand the work we have cut out ahead of us to reform a broken system. I'll give you other examples too while we're at it. See, now that you sort of clarified where you are on which premise you're asking about, I think the donor class is part of this as well. I think there's a lot of people who...
Wow. I have no interest in playing games. Whatever games others play, I'm not playing it. Sometimes I think, you know what, maybe I'm a little too hard on some of these people on the left that I criticize when I do these videos. And then I see something like this and I have zero guilt whatsoever because this guy is just so disingenuous. The entire clip we just watched didn't need to be however many minutes it is. It could have been 30 seconds. Hey, Vivek, you say that there's a larger machine at work running things. Yes, I think there is on both sides of the aisle. Well, who do you mean? Well, it's not one person necessarily. Gives his answer. What was that, a 30, 45-second conversation? But I guess more importantly, what do you think? I'm of the opinion that, of course, around every president, many times they are not the one calling all the shots and making decisions. It's a big machine around him of powerful people. And I can't say specific names because, again, it's not one person. And I agree with Vivek that it exists on both sides of the aisle, but more on the left. Let us know in the comments what you think. Do you agree with Vivek's take or my take? Or do you think the president makes more of the individual day-to-day decisions than we think that he does? That's it for this video. As always, we really appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one.